Hello everyone and welcome back to Feed the Beast Monster. Ben here, and what have I been up to? Well, I have been up to cleaning lots and lots and lots of trees. You can start to see the shape of the hill now, and actually it's a lot bigger than I thought it was. It goes back a long way. So it's a start. And it took me ages. I've been thinking very carefully, and I think I'm probably going to go for some sort of castle on this. There's a nice smoothish slope coming up here for a causeway. Some towers on here, but I want to make it sort of blend into the landscape a bit, so I'm thinking a mixture of stone and jungle wood for things like supports and cross beams and stuff, just to make it look, part of the environment. I was thinking about making the entire thing out of wood as some sort of jungle temple, and then I thought, a wooden fort full of advanced machinery, it just doesn't really go together. It would all fall victim to the first person with a bit of flint and steel. So that's what I'm looking to do. And for now, I'm going to get down off my favourite viewing tree. You can see I have got lots and lots of jungle, a bit of oak wood. I've found plenty of apples, which I've been eating, a few cocoa beans. Nothing exciting, but I'm not going to be short of wood for a while. So, back to business. We can see that the crops have started to grow. We have some strawberries here, so we can harvest those. We've got 2 loads of strawberry seeds and a strawberry. And while I was clearing out, I did also pick up some wheat seeds, which I'm going to sow. And we can have a bit of barley as well. It's not a great farm, but it will do. So let's unload all this wood. And these saplings as well. What I'm intending to do is clear off the entire hill and then possibly replant some of these jungle trees, make it look like part of the landscape. But first, mining turtle. We built this little guy in the last episode because we were slightly lacking in the amount of diamonds we've got. And today I'm going to show you how to use him. So we've placed him down, and now we right click on him and we get this up. I'm not going to do an entire programming tutorial, I'm just going to show you enough to get this thing working. Now the first thing you should always do with a turtle is name it. And you do that by typing label, set, and pick a name for it. You should always pick a name which is sort of appropriate so you remember what the mining turtle actually does. So I am going to pick Terence, because this one is going to just do everything. There we go, we now have Terence the turtle. If I actually dig him up and pick him up and overlay, you can see now it says mining turtle Terence. Now why is that important? It's important because if you've loaded programs into the computer and haven't named it, when you actually dig it up like that, it will lose everything in the memory and it will lose any fuel that it had. But if you name it, it remembers everything it's done. So that's really, really good. Now the next thing to do is to download the program. Now this is a little program which I wrote, which you are free to download. And to do it, you type in paste bin get and what it does is you type in the command quarry and you tell it how big you want it to go, so a 10 by 10 square say, and you tell it what level you want it to dig at, so level 20 say. The turtle will dig down to level 20 and completely mine out that 10 by 10 square. It will also check the level above and below as it digs, so it will check level 21 and level 19. And if it finds anything on those levels which isn't cobblestone, so any ores, unfortunately also dirt and these geostrata things, it will dig those up as well. And it will store them in this area here. This is a little chest area that you can put things in. And when it completes the mining, or when it gets full and it can't hold anymore, it'll return back here to where it started. And that's basically the entirety of how it works. So, it's still light out. Now, I like to set this up using chunks. And if you don't know what a chunk is, press F9 on your keyboard and press it again. And welcome to the Matrix. This is a chunk bounded by the lines. It is a 16 by 16 square, which Minecraft uses to work out where you are. When you're playing, it will load up the chunk that you're in, and I think it's about 4 chunks either way. And that's where things actually happen, where crops grow, where mobs spawn, things like that, because the game doesn't want to be loading things up half a mile that way. But what I'm going to use this for is to work out where to put the turtle, because I'm going to actually tell it to mine out this chunk. That way I can just remember where it's gone and where it hasn't. So if I pop it in the corner, press F9 again to get rid of it. Right, what this turtle needs, and what I don't have, is fuel. It uses, well, it can use lots of things, but I'm going to feed it on charcoal for fuel. And do I have... This is what we call preparedness. A bit of... I don't. Where's that gone? I also need 1 square of smooth stone. I'm using the smooth stone to tell it what not to mine. Do you remember I said it'll check the levels above and below, and if it's stone it won't actually dig it, so you don't get tons of cobblestone? We need a piece of cobblestone just to tell it what not to mine. So we take this smooth stone and place it in slot 1. Take this charcoal, place it in the last slot. And now we type... In fact, we need one more thing. If you press F3 on your keyboard, you get up the information about where you are. On the left-hand side, 5th item up, it says Y equals 68. That's how high you are up in the world. The turtle can't know by itself exactly where it is. Press F3 to get rid of that. So, type in quarry, which was the name of the program, 16, which is a chunk size, 68, which is the level we're on, and then the level you want it to dig at. I'm going to ask it to dig out level 6 because I want to get diamonds. Press return. It'll tell you how much fuel it's got, 4,080. It typically uses 200 to 300 a pass when it's mining. So that'll last it for a really long time. Big lag spike as it sets off. And let's go in. We can just leave that, and when it's done, it will pop back up there again. Now, it's not a very clever program. It won't automatically offload itself into a chest near it. You can get it to do that. So it does require a bit of babysitting, but you know, it works. Okay, sorry about that. Me destroying my computer. So we're leaving that to work overnight. It's digging away under us on level 6. So what shall we do? Well, we've got this strawberry. Magical crops, crops and food. And it satiates 1.5 hungers, which isn't bad. So, you know, a stack of these will keep you quite well fed for a while. But we can do better than that. If we have 3 pieces of glass. We need some glass, some cobble, which I had anyway. And once again, we need a bit of smooth stone, so I'm just going to cook up a little bit. What we want are some glass bottles, which always come in handy eventually. And we need 1 piece of smooth stone. What we can do is take our smooth stone, pop it in the middle, take 3 cobblestone, place it above, and that doesn't work. Oh. Okay, the stone has to be in the middle with cobblestone around it. You get this, a squeezer. Magical crops and food. This thing is very handy because it doesn't have a damage bar, it doesn't wear out or anything, even though it's only stone. Take your squeezer, take a glass bottle, and take your strawberry. And I think this is a shapeless, yep, completely shapeless recipe. And you get strawberry juice. 3 hungers, twice as good. The squeezer doesn't lose anything, and you get the glass bottle back when you drunk it. So these basic magical crops are actually really good. 3 hungers, it's not bad, is it? For satiating your hunger. So it's night at the minute, and I'm still waiting for my turtle to pop back up. So we will leave it there and be back in a few. Okay, welcome back. Looking out through the window, the turtle has returned. And also, it looks like it's a pretty miserable day out here in the jungle. Yuck. But let's see what we've got. If we right click on it, you can see what's happened. It's decided it's run out of space, so it's going to return. So we can just hold shift and click all of this stuff out. Now, it's run out of space, so it's still not finished that layer. If you just press the up cursor key, the last command that you entered comes back in. Press return, and it'll go off again. You can see it's only used a couple of hundred of all that fuel, so we won't need to refuel it for absolutely ages. How miserable, but at least the crop should grow. So let's get back inside and see what we've got. Well, oops. We have a bit of cobblestone, not too much. It has mined up some of these geostrata things. Dark iron ore, which is part of factorisation. We'll get to that pretty soon. Quantum dust, that's a very fun mod. We're going to be messing around, making blocks which appear and disappear depending on which way you look at them, that sort of stuff. Saltpeter from Railcraft, and essence dust. This is part of magical crops. You can do a lot more with magical crops than just make strawberry juice. And while we're on that subject, let's have a very quick talk about NEI. Here we've still got up our strawberry things. Now, if you left click on any one of these recipes, you get how to make it. The other handy thing that NEI does is if you actually right click on something. So here's the strawberry that we had. Right click on it, and it shows you all the things that you can make with it. So you can combine a load of strawberries and some nature essence and get magical food, which has health regeneration. Or you can do the recipe we did with the squeezer and the glass bottle and get strawberry juice. Pretty nice. So let's get rid of all of these bits of stuff and start thinking about what to do next. Now, I for one am still feeling a tiny bit vulnerable because I actually haven't made any armour yet. So that might have to be my next thing because we still have a fair amount of cobblestone. And hopefully we still have a fair amount of charcoal. Not that much. But what we do have is tons of wood, and I have no worries about running... Why can't I click you? Oh, there we go. Running out of wood anytime soon. Because what I want to do is to start to head up on top of the mountain and get a better viewpoint from up there, because I've not actually really spent any time up there yet. Iron chest plate. Fantastic. I look terrible in that. But never mind, we'll get better soon. So let's see if we can find a way up here. In the rain, catching our death of cold. And getting stuck in more trees. And ideally before night falls, which we haven't. So you can see where I've been clearing. There's still plenty of vines about, which are really useful actually. It means I don't have to build too many ladders just at the minute. Ooh, big lag spike. But there we go, the sun sets that way, so I think it'd be a very nice place to have a window up here. And that's a fairly good steep hill. I think we can handle a big tower over here, a big room going over here, and you completely lose the shape of the hill over here, but a nice gentle causeway down there. So, that will probably be what I'm focusing on for next time. Let's try and find a way down which won't kill me. So, that's probably it for this video. Let's have a check on our turtle. The one problem with this turtle is it does dig a hole straight down to oblivion, and you cannot see a thing, and it's going to be very easy to walk through. You can actually just plug that up with a bit of dirt, and the turtle will mine it out when it comes back up again. But I'm not going to be wandering over there, so I'm not going to bother. So, I think that's probably it for this episode, guys. We'll see you next time when we've perhaps got a little bit more out of the turtle and we start working on the castle proper. So until then, goodbye.